Hello students, today we are going to discuss galvanometer. Okay, the principle of galvanometer and working method of galvanometer, moving coil galvanometer. Before beginning of moving coil galvanometer, one thing I was forget to tell you that as yesterday I told you that the torque is N I A cos theta. Okay, and this theta is the angle between magnetic field and coil. Okay, that means if I say that this is the magnet and in this direction are magnetic fields. Okay, and if I put a coil which is parallel to this magnetic field, that means the angle between this coil and the magnetic field is 0, theta is 0. And if I put our coil in such a way that coil makes 90-degree angle with magnetic fields, that means the theta will be 90. Okay guys, then if we put these values in this equation, then our equation becomes, in case 1, when coil placed with its plane parallel to magnetic field. Okay, now what the thing is happened that when we put our coil with its plane, okay, parallel to magnetic field, that means theta becomes 0. That means the torque will be NIBA. This will be the torque. Okay, that means this torque is known as maximum torque. Okay, this torque is known as maximum torque. Okay, now if I say that if we put our coil with in such a way that the coil makes 90-degree with magnetic fields, then theta will be 90-degree, and when we put the value of theta 90, then we get tau minimum as when theta is 90, then this whole term becomes 0. That means we get our torque value as 0. Okay, we get our torque value as 0 when the angle between magnetic field and this circular coil or rectangular coil become 90-degree. Okay, so this is minimum torque and this is the maximum torque. The maximum torque also called radial torque. Okay, this is also called radial torque. Okay, this is also called radial torque. Now see carefully what I am going to represent. If we draw a normal to the plane of coil, and the normal makes alpha degree angle with magnetic field, that means this is the direction of magnetic field. Okay, and here is also a rectangular coil exists, and the rectangular coil plane is parallel to that magnetic field. That means I am talking about if I draw a normal to coil when we draw normal to coil, automatically it makes 90 degree with the plane of coil. Okay, now here, because plane of coil and the direction of magnetic field are same, that means this normal makes also 90 degree with magnetic field. Okay, and this is called alpha value. Okay, that means alpha is the angle between normal of plane of plane of coil, angle between normal of plane of coil and magnetic field So this is the value of alpha. Now our equation will be changed at this time. If you see that here alpha plus theta equals to 90 degree. Okay, because theta is 0 at this time, and this angle is 90 degree, and this angle also is called alpha. That means if we add alpha plus theta is equal to 90 degree, that means theta can be also written as 90 minus alpha. And if we put this value in our equation, which is tau equals to I ni ba sin theta, and we put the value of theta as 90 minus alpha cos theta, then it becomes cos 90 minus alpha, and cos 90 minus alpha becomes sin alpha. Okay, that means our equation become as tau equals to NBIA sin alpha. Okay, sin alpha. This is I want to see you students. There is a two type of formula of torque in a magnetic field. Okay, in one formula there is a sine, okay, angle we take, and in second formula which I told you earlier, NBIA sin theta. Okay, make sure आप लोग डिफरेंशिएट प्लस कर लेना यहाँ पे कि यहाँ पे जो है वो अल्फा है और यहाँ पे क्या है, थीटा है. थीटा क्या है, डायरेक्ट कॉइल और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के बीच का एंगल है. ठीक है, और अल्फा क्या है, अल्फा है कॉइल के नॉर्मल एंड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के बीच का एंगल. ओके, तो दोनों में कंफ्यूज मत होइएगा. ओके, अब इसके बाद हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे गैल्वेनोमीटर. Now students, we will discuss moving coil galvanometer. Okay, so first of all, a question comes in mind that what is the mean of galvanometer. Okay, moving coil galvanometer. So a galvanometer is a type of instrument which is used to sense very low value of currents. Okay, galvanometer is a device or instrument which is used to measure medium value or low value of current. Okay, the working principle of moving coil galvanometer is when a coil placed in a magnetic field. Okay, when a coil, current carrying coil placed in a magnetic field, then a torque develop on that coil. Okay, this is the working principle of galvanometer. Okay, so first of all we have to construct a diagram of galvanometer. So what is the diagram? The diagram is like this is actually this is these are the poles of magnet. Okay, that means this is the north pole and this is the south pole. Okay, in this diagram we have a magnet and pair of a magnet having a north pole and south pole, and we put our coil in the middle of these poles. Okay, that means we put our simply coil at the middle of this magnet, and now we construct our ये जो लाइंस है स्टूडेंट्स, ये लाइंस शो कर रही हैं कि जो वाइंडिंग हुई है यहाँ पे वो कैसे हुई है। ठीक है, अब इसमें एक चीज और होती है, जैसे कि कोई भी आप इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है तो उसमें जब नीडल होती है तो वो फ्लक्चुएट करती है, तो वो हमेशा छोटी वैल्यू पे पूरा का पूरा स्केल फ्लक्चुएट है। जैसे यहाँ पे 0 है लेफ्ट साइड और यहाँ पे हमें फाइनल वैल्यू तो मतलब यहाँ पे हमें फुल स्केल वैल्यू मिल रही है। दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे एक ऐसा कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस होता है, यहाँ पे एक ऐसा कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस होता है जो कि इसके डिफ्लेक्टिंग टॉर्क को क्या करता है, कंट्रोल करता है। ओके, हियर a type of controlling device is present which prevents its full value deflection. Okay, क्योंकि अगर हमें 5 मिली वोल्ट का करंट मिल रहा है और अगर कोई कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस नहीं होगी तो उस 5 मिली वोल्ट को यहाँ पे ना दिखा के वो तुरंत फ्लक्चुएट कर जाएगा यहाँ पे, बिकॉज वहाँ पे कोई कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस अगर नहीं होगी तो दैट्स वाई यहाँ पे कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस के रिस्पेक्ट में यहाँ पे एक स्प्रिंग होती है जो कि कुछ इस तरीके की होती है। ओके, जो कि कुछ इस तरीके की होती है, तो ये क्या करती है, कंट्रोलिंग डिवाइस का काम करती है यहाँ पे। अब हम इसे करंट देना है तो इसे हम दो टर्मिनल्स का ऐसे ले लेते हैं जहाँ से हम उसको क्या प्रोवाइड करेंगे, करंट प्रोवाइड करेंगे। इसे हम प्लस से शो कर देते हैं, इसे माइनस से शो कर देते हैं। अब एक यहाँ पे निडल होगी जो कि इससे कनेक्टेड होगी, जो कि इस कॉइल से क्या होगी, कनेक्टेड होगी, और यहाँ पे हमारा होगा स्केल, यहाँ पे क्या होगा, स्केल। दैट मीन्स जब हम करंट प्रोवाइड करेंगे, when we provide current in this coil, then a magnetic field interaction between the magnetic field of coil and these magnets, okay, क्योंकि ये जो magnets हैं ये भी तो magnetic field अप्लाई कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ये magnetic field देखिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं ये, तो इन दोनों मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की इंटरेक्शन के थ्रू एक टॉर्क जनरेट होता है which is act on that coil, and this torque moves this coil along with clockwise or anti-clockwise according to current direction. Okay, when this coil move, then this indicator also move because this indicator joined with this coil. Okay, so the deflection of coil is proportional to the deflection of this pointer. Okay, this is called pointer, this is called pointer. Okay, and this is the scale. Okay, this is scale. These are magnets, this is the controlling spring, controlling spring, this is the coil. Okay, this is the coil, this is the coil. Now let's discuss about principle. What is the principle of galvanometer? Okay, when a current carrying coil, current carrying when a current carrying coil placed in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Okay, simply it experiences a torque. Okay, जैसा कि आपने इसके पहले भी पढ़ चुका है कि when we put a rectangular coil in middle of magnet, then this rectangular coil experience a torque. Okay, experience a torque. सेम वही प्रिंसिपल यहाँ पे यूज होना है. ओके, सेम वही प्रिंसिपल यहाँ पे यूज होना है. बस उसी से हमने क्या किया है कि we take a pointer, okay, and scale. This is the scale. Okay, so I hope I repeat it again. The principle is when a current carrying coil placed in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Okay, now we discuss how it works with mathematical representation. Okay, you know that we assume let plane of coil is parallel to magnetic field. Let plane of coil is parallel to magnetic field. Okay, so what is the torque? We studied already that the torque is N B I A cos theta. Okay, where the theta is the angle between coil and magnetic field. Now, because the angle is parallel, that means the angle will be theta will be 0 degree. That means cos 0 is equal to 1 and the tau will NBIA, and this is the deflecting torque. This will be deflecting torque. That means this is denoted by D, because this torque force to this coil to move from one point to another point. Okay, or this torque is forced to move this pointer. That's why this is called deflecting torque. Now, if a theta degree, if pointer or coil moves theta degree in a unit Now we talk about let theta is twist, theta be twist produced by needle. This can also called as needle. Okay, and K is restoring torque. Restoring torque means a controlling torque. Okay, and K is restoring torque. And K is the restoring torque per unit twist. Then the total then total restoring torque along theta is, then total restoring torque along theta is k theta. Okay, the restoring torque is k theta. That means it can also written as tau r. Okay, now at some point we assume when this needle stop at some point, that means if this needle stop at this point, that means at this point the deflecting torque and restoring torque will be equal. That's why this needle stops here. Otherwise this needle fluctuate up to this point. Okay, because of at this point the deflecting torque equals to restoring torque, that's why this needle stops at this point. Okay, so this concept we use in our derivation. That means equation number, we give it name is as equation number 1 and this one is equation number 2. Okay, now in balance position of pointer, equation number 1 equals to equation number 2. Okay, or in balance position of pointer, the deflecting torque equals to the restoring torque. That means k theta will equal to n b I and a. Now we can also write it as k theta equals to n b a I. That means if you see carefully, then we find that these terms, okay, these terms are definite term, that means constant term. Okay, these terms are constant terms. Then theta is directly proportional to I, that means theta is directly proportional to I. Okay, so this is what we have to be show, okay, in this derivation. Now our derivation is complete. What things comes from this derivation? The main thing comes from this derivation is the deflection in the needle or the twist in this pointer or coil is proportional to the current given to its coil. Okay, that's why the deflection of coil or theta angle makes by coil or this pointer is proportional to the input current. That's why this scale is calibrated as current scale. Okay, this scale is calibrated as current scale because the twist angle is proportional to the current which is given to its input. Okay, I hope you understand. This topic is now over. Now students, I am going to start a new chapter which is magnetism and matter. Okay, you study enough about magnetism. Okay, how a magnetic force produced by current, or what is the effect on a coil when it is placed in uniform magnetic field. Okay, these things you studied already. Then now I want to discuss about some basic knowledge of magnetism and matter. Okay, So the first thing is, we can divide magnetic material in three categories. Okay, the first category is diamagnetic material. The first category is diamagnetic material. The second type of material is paramagnetic material. Paramagnetic material. Okay, paramagnetic. And the third one is ferromagnetic. Okay. So what these are, what the things are, the meaning of diamagnetic material means, when we put these materials in presence of magnetic field, then the alignment of magnetic dipole moment in these materials opposite to the direction of magnetic field. Okay, that means if assume this is a diamagnetic material, and if magnetic field lines comes from a point, then this diamagnetic material property is it's repel the magnetic fields. Okay, this is the property of diamagnetic material. It wants to repel the magnetic field. Okay, it wants to repel magnetic field. Okay, this is the property of diamagnetic material. Okay, diamagnetic. That means, and in paramagnetic material, the material is a paramagnetic material. A material is when it is placed in a magnetic field, then it attracts magnetic fields towards within its material. Okay. Now, in second terms, we can also say that when paramagnetic material present in an absence of external magnetic field, then the total alignment magnetic moment, dipole moment is zero. But when these materials placed in the presence of external magnetic field, then they have a net magnetic dipole moment. Okay, that means they show magnetism, and the alignment of magnetic dipole moment is with same as magnetic field. Okay, that means if a magnetic field lines comes towards paramagnetic, then it attracts these lines. Okay, that means these materials tends to attract these lines. Okay, you can show there, you can saw easily here is some deflection. Okay, within the path of magnetic field lines or magnetic flux, because this material attract these lines towards it. Okay, that means this is the property of paramagnetic material. Okay, this is the property of paramagnetic material. Now, what is the ferromagnetic? Ferromagnetic material is strongly magnetic material. Even in the absence of external magnetic field, it has a magnetic dipole moment. That means when it experiences an external magnetic field, then it strongly attracts that field within it. Okay, that means if we show a ferromagnetic material, then it used to attract magnetic field lines strongly towards it. Okay, so this deflection is more than this deflection, because ferromagnetic materials are strongly attract magnetic field lines towards it. Okay, that means okay. So this is a briefing of diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic. There are several points which is used to describe the properties of these materials. Okay, the second thing which we discuss about magnetic dipole moment alignment within diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic, and these alignments we discuss in two cases: when there is a no external magnetic field, and the second case is when we give it as a external magnetic field. Then what is the behavior of magnetic dipole moment within these materials? Okay, we will discuss it.